What is up, everybody? You know, I like to start this show off by showing love to those companies that help make this podcast possible. First is my friends over at Yellow Jacket. Guys, I want to talk about it. Something that I've been messing with. I need to be honest, I need to make some more videos on it because these things are absolutely awesome. It's going to be their new Vacuum Y with Real Torque core removal tool. So this is going to be able to do regular, split systems as well as mini splits as well. At the bottom of here, it's going to come with an adapter. And then what I really love is I am currently using this kit over here on the left, the Deluxe Max Flow Evacuation Kit. So both of these hoses will connect to a Yellow Jacket pump. Most pumps have all those different ports on it now. If not, Yellow Jacket does have their vacuum tee that you can, as an accessory to any pump, to be able to make these hoses work. But you're going to put both of these hoses are going to go onto this Y. After you pull your core out of one, they're both going to pull out of one. So what I've been doing is I put this on the suction line with the core removed. I have both of the lines on there. Being that it's a Y, I get so much better, airflow, so much better vacuum than being a true T. Just think about angles. None of us are math majors, but something being a T versus a versus a Y, I get perfect vacuum on both sides, and then I literally put my micron gauge on the other side. I've been pulling vacuums fast as hell, and I'm going to be honest. You guys know that I've been with Yellow Jacket for years, but I'm completely honest. I have used every vacuum product on the market. I didn't think that this was going to make that big of a difference, and that is me being completely honest. This is freaking awesome. I love this. This is how I've been pulling vacuums. I was actually in the field today, which is why I got home late. We'll talk about that here in a little bit when the show gets on. But we use this to pull the vacuum, and it literally is absolutely amazing. And yes, you can. So somebody in there, I normally don't answer questions while I'm in the chat, but yes, if you look at this kit over here, you're going to have the 45s where you can still valve off your hoses. So you actually can still valve it off. So I've loved this, been using it for a little bit now, and it's awesome. I love it. The vacuum's been pulling great. I think I'm going to get these Deluxe Max Flow evacuation kits for guys for my team, and going to let them use it. So anybody out there looking for something, something different to try that's not going to break the bank, go ahead and give this Deluxe Max Flow evacuation kit a try. Or at very least, go ahead and try the Vacuum Y with the Real Torque. That way, when you got to put that Trader core back in, you're not going to over torque it. You're going to tighten it down. It's going to click and let you know that it's good. All right. With that being said, man, go check out. I always tell you, I'm not going to tell you where to spend your money. All I'm going to say is if you have some money to spend, you're looking to get some new tools, go give my friends over at Yellow Jacket a look. Give them a try. Check out your local supply house. If you can't find them locally, then go give my friends over at True Tech Tools a look and use the discount code Uncensored to save 6% on your order. All right. Remember, 75 years of expertise built into every tool. Next, let me change your socks. Guys, I know that even Rookie, like I said, I don't see him in here tonight, was the biggest one. I'm not buying no damn socks. These socks are too expensive. You're full of shit, Gil. I'm not doing it. And guess who bought some socks? Guys, I'm telling you, for work socks, I get it. I never used to buy work socks. I had a certain brand of socks that I loved, and I would wear them whether I was working, going out. No matter what I was doing, I wore the same brand of socks. Guys, these socks are freaking awesome. And if they wouldn't have sent me a free pair to try these, I would never be letting them sponsor me, to be honest. I would never have this sponsorship. These are the only socks that I wear to work. Now I have all of them. I have the boot, the crew, and the ankle. And these are what I wear to work. They are comfortable on your feet. They keep them dry. They keep them warm. In the summertime, when I was wearing work boots, I was out in the field. It's 100 degrees outside. Normally, your feet are dripping wet. That's how you guys are getting athlete's foot. Your feet stink. Hey, I can't be the only one. These things helped it. No more having to put baby powder or those different powders in my boots. My boots don't smell like Bigfoot's ball sack. These things were absolutely amazing, man. That's what sold me on these socks. I truly do love these socks. I get it. They're not the cheapest socks. I'm not saying you should buy have a drawer full of these, but maybe buy 5, 6 pairs, have enough to get through the work week, and then wash them on the weekends. But these socks are absolutely amazing. I love these. Hey, when you guys get home, you get out of the shower. Hey, man, you're trying to have some fun with your lady or whatever. You're not trying to get out of the shower and your foot still stinks. All right. Go check out these socks. They're absolutely amazing. I do swear by these socks. I do love them. I don't know if I would let these socks be my everyday socks that I wear. Hey, if you got that kind of money to blow, more power to you. But when it comes to work, I do love these socks. They do have an initial 30% off. I say I'm always going to do what's best for you guys and not what's best for me. Obviously, for the sponsorship, you guys using my link helps, but they have an additional 30% off. Go take care of that. I mean, get that 30% off if you want to try it. Then if you go back to buy more, then you can use the discount code Uncensored10 and save 10% off your additional orders after that. But definitely, if it's your first time, get the 30% off. I don't know. Maybe it'll give you an additional 10 of that 30. I don't know anybody who's tried, but hey, do that. Take the 30% off and see if you can get an additional 10 by using my code. If not, then obviously don't use my code. Take the 30% off. I want you to guys save as much money as you possibly can. All right. So go check out my friends over at Camel City Mill and get yourself some socks. All right. All right, guys, let's get on with the pledge and get on with the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil Cavey Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Gil Cavey Jr. Here we are, another Wednesday, another hump day, and another amazing show. Man, thank all you guys for being here. Thank you for a little bit of late start tonight. I know we normally get started at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We did 8:30 tonight. Obviously, as many as you know, I am now a single father. So it's kind of a weird scenario how it's going on. But anyway, I had to be in the field today, had to help the guys finish up a job up near DC. Now I'm in the Annapolis area, which is closer to Baltimore. So got home a little late, had to make sure that my girls were fed, homework was done, all that kind of stuff. They were ready to go to bed before I could do any podcasting. Plus, I still had not put the show out, like the link that you guys see and all that kind of stuff. So I had to do all that. It was a lot, and I gave myself that extra half an hour. I just needed that little buffer to make sure that I was going to be able to, but I definitely was going to make sure. I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss any nights. So here we are. But anyway, thank you guys for being here to say what's up for everybody. Mr. Freon Leon was always here. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. My man, Mr. Jason Johnson, also a moderator. What is up, brother? Thank you for being here, man. Mr. Froggy, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Mr. Nasty, what's up, Nasty? How you doing, my man? Let's see who else we got in here. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Mr. Fukine, what is up, brother? Thank you for being here. And I think that is everybody for now. I'm going to have to message Rookie. I don't know where the hell he's been the last 2 weeks, but I want to say thank you guys for last week. I know that was odd with how it didn't start and the guests didn't pop in. And the sad part is I don't think, and I don't want to talk about that for a long time, but I don't think that podcast did Jackson Systems Services, Jackson Systems, due process, because that service that they offer, the AirLink program, actually is really awesome. It's so simple and so awesome that it's not really a lot to talk about. And to be honest, I don't know if it made the best podcast episode, but that is one of the perks they have as being a sponsor, and I want them to have that. And Matt was absolutely awesome. He knows the product. I just feel like maybe that show didn't go off the way it should have, and I feel like with some of the technical errors that it wasn't Matt's fault. It just made me feel bad. So I'm going to try to piece that up and do some ads with it, because that AirLink program is absolutely awesome. So anybody out there who is running a residential HVAC business, definitely check out that Jackson Systems AirLink program. It is something that we are doing at Care Mechanical. It just makes it simple for the things that we already provide, and to be able to give that to our customers to be able to get those products. You know what I mean? So I wanted to say that real fast, but yeah, man, out in the field today, getting dirty. Look at that. I didn't even wash my hands yet. They're still dirty. It's kind of gross, but whatever. It was uncensored. Yeah, I guess that's not what I meant by the uncensored part, but I guess we can say that. But yeah, I was out in the field today trying to get a job done. It was a house that we had put in 2 systems. Upstairs, we replaced the heat pump that was existingly there with a new inverter system. And then downstairs, we removed a boiler and added in a gas furnace with a heat pump, so a dual fuel hybrid system. And we had to run duct work and everything. So went back to kind of finish up, tighten up some things today. And we did a water heater as well. So we had done a lot of work there. So I went out personally to make sure that all this stuff was done and it met my standards on how I want it to be done. Because I had an install manager here who was a friend of mine. I wish him the best, but when he was managing that team, it's sadly the standards that me and my partners have for this company weren't being met. So yeah, so I was out there making sure the job turned out awesome. I'll try to share some pictures and videos of it. I think it turned out really, really good. And the customers are extremely happy. So one thing, I don't know if a lot of you guys have, I think this is a national thing. I don't know if it's local, but it's kind of the Electrify rebates where people can get up to $7,000 off. And it's like right off the front. We have to wait to get it back as a company, but a lot of people, so if they go from any kind of fuel source to electric, or if they go, if they go from gas, propane, oil, or something like that to electric, but what we've been doing a lot is just dual fuel systems. Hybrids count, and these people are getting $7,000 rebates. So that's a lot of fucking money. So a lot of people have been taking advantage of it. And I'm almost positive it's not a local thing. I know some of them we may apply for them through our local utility company, but I don't know if this is local. So yeah, no, I agree, Jason. Any of the ones that I talk to and I tell people as well to keep their gas and go dual fuel. To definitely go hybrid. To me, I think that's the best system you can get. But yeah, I would never get rid of my gas and go all electric, especially when I can have the heat pump and the gas furnace and still get the rebate. So yeah, the only people that go all electric are the people that are like going from oil. You know, they have an oil boiler. They're trying to get rid of oil. They don't want to do it anymore. And, then those people will go straight heat pump. But those people, I only do inverter systems, like high-end ones. Because think about it, when you do oil, you're used to a very dry, hot heat. And that's normally not what a heat pump's going to provide. But if you do go high-end inverter, you can get good heat. Like I said, you guys know, I've had inverters in my last 2 homes, 3 homes. I don't have one here because it's rental. It's not mine. But the last 3 homes I've had, I've had Carrier, I've had Lennox. So I've dealt with those heat pumps, and those actually provide pretty good heat if you get higher end. So I always make sure that that's what I offer to those people, especially if they're going to get the rebates. It kind of balances itself out, because if you are going from some kind of oil heat or something like that, and you go to some like base cheap heat pump, they're not going to be happy. They're not. I've seen it. I won't do it. I'd rather walk away from that work than to put that cheap system in that I know they're not going to be happy with. So that's just kind of my opinion. Fukin A says it's a federal rebate here in Canada. Cool. That makes sense. Jared, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. So Arizona doesn't have it. Okay. Huh. Unless it's like a Northeast kind of thing, but it's in Canada. Unless maybe it's in some colder climates. Gas-fired sectional cast iron. So my guys they're going to be in Baltimore City tomorrow. I might have to stop by that job. I actually gave them 2 days to do this. They're going to fucking hate me tomorrow, to be honest, but they're removing a boiler out of this basement in Baltimore City. Okay, so they're going to be in Baltimore City, which normally I try to stay out of the city, but sometimes shit happens. But this oil boiler looks like a 1950 Buick. This thing is going to suck. Baltimore basements, they're not fun. They're all like, dirt, cement floors. They're like concrete floors. They're not very high, and the steps are very skinny. So yeah, my team is going to be pretty pissed at me tomorrow, but it happens. Yeah, I think the 25C, that's federal. So I know about the 25C. I don't know, but the only thing about the 25C is, so if anybody out there doesn't know, the 25C tax credit is a $2,000 rebate to the customer on qualified systems. And it's, but they don't get that from you. They take that off of their taxes. So, that's how that works. The rebates I'm talking about, they literally and I'm just making round numbers. If I'm charging them $17,000 for the system, they pay me $10,000. From a business, it sucks because you wait like 6 months to get that $7,000 back. But we do it enough that it's not really hurting you. So. And sadly, you got to use those rebates nowadays sometimes to win these deals, man. Some of these people out there are doing jobs it's kind of crazy because they're both ends of the spectrum. You got some that are doing them like way crazy. They're charging these crazy amount, and I wonder why people don't do work with them. I mean, like in this area, like if you do like, I don't know, like a base heat pump system, let's say 3-ton, pretty common, a 3-ton heat pump, 5, 10 kW heater kit, push pull, and you're probably 12 and under, $12,000 under. And you get these companies are out there doing it for like $28,000. That's their bid, their estimate. And it's like, what? And then you have these other people that are doing it. They're like, oh yeah, I can do it for like $4,200. It's like, how can you do a job for that? I don't understand these people. Zeke, what's up, brother? Yeah, California's crazy, man. And I get it. Pricing is based on the market that you're in. It's based on the local economy, the average median income. So there's a lot of factors that go into pricing. But from around here, that's nuts. It's just absolutely crazy. Just getting home, they got you out late, Zeke? Well, I started late tonight, man. We didn't even start till 8:30. I got home late tonight too, so. Yeah, exactly. You do it for $9K on the side and you have no overhead. So $350. Yeah, some people are crazy, man. You can't try to gouge people. Like I get running a business. I get, making money. Hey, Freon, I'm telling you, the systems you should be pushing from Goodman that you can probably sell for way more than $9,000, or probably you could sell for $9,000, to be honest with you, for side work, is those Goodman side discharge units, man. They sell them in a bundle. And you can get that bundle like dirt cheap. We've been pushing the hell out of those, and those systems are nice. They're inverter technology. And you can get it comes in a bundle for like $2,000. And that gives you everything: the indoor, the outdoor, the pad, the whip, the disconnect, the thermostat. It's a communicating system. Like, they're easy to set up. So I highly suggest people offer those, man. They're fucking nice. It's the same thing as the Daikin Fit or the Amana S. It's just Daikin's version. And that bundle that they have is dirt fucking cheap. It's such a good deal. And we've been smashing people with those things. Like, we go in, my comfort specialist is going in and bidding against other people, and they're offering like Goodman like 15.2 SEER heat pumps, and he offers that for damn near the same price or less, and we're winning those bids all day, every day. Like, I don't know why people aren't offering it. Like, and they're selling Goodman. They're probably buying it from the same fucking place that I'm buying it from, so I don't understand. I would definitely look at those, Leon. I would put one of those in my house 100%. I put one in one of my best friend. She's like my sister. She's a childhood friend. I've been friends with her since I was, 5, 6 years old. And I put one in her and her husband's house, and they love it. So, and I know people get that stigma when it comes to, Goodman, but I will say that system is fucking sweet. It is awesome. Yeah, we've had no issues. We've been selling those things like hotcakes. I don't know why more people are not selling them. I really don't. Some of you people in the different climates, man, how are you? Massive split. Yeah, right. Well, what I like is the ductless system. It just sounds like a fucking oxymoron. Yeah, I want to get that ductless mini split. You want what? Modern Comfort, what's up? What's up, buddy? Thank you for being here. Which ones you talking about, Zeke? What has come a long way? Mini splits, you mean? What's a TXV? Goodman. Yeah, no. Yeah, Goodman has come a long way. And I think that they started getting better when they got bought by Daikin, to be honest with you. It's just, you got to be part of like I try not to. Yeah, the 14 SEER stuff is still like builder's grade, but it has come a long way. You guys know me. I don't sell a lot of base stuff. It's just, I don't know. I just don't. I feel like when you talk to customers for a couple more dollars, I can get them a lot better system. But, you have some of those people, the rental properties and shit like that they're like, hey, man, I just want something that heats and cools. I want the cheap of the cheap. And, I get it. That happens. But normally I'm not selling anything, 14 SEER or base for the most part. That's going to be a small percentage of the sales that we do. Yeah. And the cold climate stuff, Fukine, a lot of that stuff is, they make it in a cold climate. $14 SEER train. Well, I'm not, like, once again, I'm not on the lower SEER stuff, but let's just be real. I would probably trust a 14 SEER train a little bit better than I trust a 14 SEER Goodman. And I'm not a train guy. Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely a difference between Daikin and Goodman. But I do think Goodman has come a long way. And Modern, I don't know if you saw it. I was saying that we have been slanging the Goodman side discharge units. They've been selling them as a bundle price, and it's dirt cheap. And I've been competing with people that are offering the 14, SEER, heat pumps and ACs and stuff like that. And I've been selling these and just blowing these bids out of the water. Well, I haven't been. My comfort specialist, Chris, has, but he's been killing it. And I don't understand why more people aren't offering these things. And most people like the space saving outside with the side discharge versus the bigger unit out there. Especially these people in like townhomes and stuff like that. They love it. We've also been doing it for some of those like condos when they have like the condenser farms outside, and they put all these units so close together when they had, the 8 SEER units back in the day. And then now that these people start to upgrade them and they're like damn near on top of them, they're just sucking each other's discharge inside. Sometimes these units are working there as well. Hey man, I'm single now. Gotta be slinging something. If it ain't ding dong, it's cheeks. Whatever works. But yeah, man, a conversation that I wanted to bring up tonight I did it when I had an install meeting this morning. I was talking to the installers, and it's about training. And a lot of you, I know how a lot of you feel in training because you're in here every week and we talk about different things. So, but I'm curious to get into this conversation. Is how much should a tech be training? What should they be training on? Meaning like only on stuff they don't know, or even going over the stuff that they do know, constantly trying to get better at it and that kind of stuff. That's what I mean by that statement. How often should they be doing it? And who should be paying for said training? Like how much of it should be company provided? How much of it should be reliant on the tech? Because, and then the last part about it that I want to put is how much somebody trains. Does that equivalate to where they are in the trade, like their position, how much they make per hour, etc.? Because I would say 100%. And I feel like all right, let's see what some people are saying here. Let's see. Mr. Jason says, all training is good training, even a refresher course. All techs should be training themselves as much as possible. Mr. Zeke Warner says, keep crafting. I pay, but they need to invest themselves also. Amen. I agree with both of those comments. Mr. Freon Leon says 60-40 tech over company. And I'm cool with that. And yes, I do think that a good company should be investing in their technicians to provide training. Whether that is in the classroom, so every Tuesday, Thursday, I have service meetings where I train the guys. It's technical mixed in, and some of that training is also communication based because not every person has the gift of gab like I do. I get that and can communicate to the customer. I want a well-rounded experience, and I get it. The communication part's a little bit more important in the residential world than it may be in like commercial or industrial. But once again, which is why I always say you need to be good technically and a good communicator. That's how you give a well-rounded experience to your customers. And then Wednesday mornings, we do install trainings. So we're training every week, at least once or twice a week, depending on the department. And I will still send them to factory authorized training. So obviously we do Carrier and Goodman here for the time being. We will send them to their factory authorized trainings, or we'll have one of their tech support people or one of their trainers come to our office to be able to train them. So I believe in that. We're willing to send them out of state to be able to do classes if possible. Normally, you got to be with me for a little bit to make that investment to send you out of state, because normally I'm paying for your travel, your place to stay, the class, and a lot of times I'm paying you while you're gone because I don't want training to turn into a bad thing. I don't want someone to choose between going to training to better themselves or putting food on the table, So it's an investment that I'm willing to do, but you have to prove to me that you're worth that investment. But those people that do that, they also have to sign a 2-year contract that they're going to be with me for at least 2 years. And some people may think that's messed up from a business standpoint. You have to. Because the last thing you want to do is drop $10,000 on a person's future and then they come back and leave you. Once again, that's why you do it for the right person. I've never had that happen, but I also put that in place. Normally, the people that I do that for are people that aren't going to leave me. And if they did, it's probably something that I'm doing wrong. But some more comments. Let's see. The company did not make you get into the trade. You shouldn't have to train you 100%. I agree. Next up for me is BPI training. Mr. Jared, I would tell my service manager there is this training on this day. Either you approve it for me to go or I'm calling out sick. I get it. Mr. Jason, spent my entire career training myself. I love it. Fortunately, my employer provides some badass training I couldn't learn on my own. That's awesome. There's a big difference between factory and, say, a supply house training for sure. Factory training is key, especially if you're a dealer, Mr. Fukin A. And then I've been working on doing that all week, offering to pay all accommodation, and it's been a pain. That's Mr. Freon Leon. Yeah, it tells you a lot about a person. Which is why I always want to say that, you have to constantly want to be able to get better. And I always use the sports analogy. If you wanted to be really good at sports, you had to do training on your own. And to be honest, if I didn't train and get in the books, I would not be where I am. I would not be, running companies and in the position that I've been able to grow to be at. And most of you know the story, but when I first left my dad, I thought I was fucking, king shit on Turd Island until I got humbled. The best thing my dad ever did for me, I could close my eyes and play that day over in my head. I've been calling my dad for weeks after I left him. Hey, Dad, I got this going on. What do you think it is? And he would help me get through the call. And then my dad finally said to me, he said, son, I love you, man, but you're never, ever going to learn unless you figure it out for yourself. He's like, so from now on, when you're at work, he's like, if you're healthy, you're okay, you're all in one piece, I'll talk to you when you get off. Click. And at that moment, I felt so vulnerable. I felt like my safety net had just got fucking taken away. But it's the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I was like, you know what? I am sick and tired of not knowing this, not knowing that. And I wanted to know everything I could possibly know about how these fucking machines worked. I would read the manuals. I was taking online courses, paying for classes at supply houses. I was doing all this on my own. And I don't have it set up here, but at the old studio, when I had the full, setup, I had that bookshelf in the back, and all those books that are on there, I keep those books to remind me of that time in my life, which is actually how I found YouTube and how I started podcasting, to be quite frank. I was just trying to watch things to get better. Whether it was an online course, reading a book. And I have never liked reading books. Now I actually read, I made that initiative to get better. And if that would not have happened, if I would not have had that chapter in my life, 100%, I can say with 100% certainty, I would not be sitting where I am now. We would not be doing this podcast, and I would not be doing what I'm doing right now. And I feel like so many people need to be motivated. Everybody wants that trophy, that what's at the light at the end of the tunnel, but nobody wants to do the work to get to it. Which is why I circle back, and I've said it weeks in a couple weeks in a row. And I just, I've been out and about talking to a lot of different technicians, and I've met some really good ones, don't get me wrong, but even like interviewing people, and it's just kind of the vibe I'm getting, that people learn enough to be dangerous. They learn enough to get a paycheck, to maybe run, 60% of the calls they can. They'll call tech support on the rest, and that's okay with them. And the other thing I want to say is, guys, stop with your manhood, man. There's nothing wrong with calling tech support. I'm sorry. Swallow your fucking pride. Suck it the fuck up, man. I am very good with carrier infinity carrier infinity systems. And how I got good at those is through factory authorized trainings and calling tech support. Now, most of those guys are really good friends of mine. Some of them have moved on to do other things, but they're all good friends of mine. I mean, then when I used to go to the classes, I could teach those classes now. And like I tell my guys, when you go out to fix a problem, as long as you take care of the customer and you make the correct diagnosis, I don't give a shit if you call tech support. I don't have to know that you called tech support. Nobody has to know that you called tech support. If it really bothers you that much, just don't say anything to anybody. Trying to turn something off here. Ding dong dang. There we go. That scrolling bar is all jacked up. It's not even current sponsors anymore, so I don't know why that was still turned on. Matter of fact, I think it's because I'm on the wrong screen. Yeah, it is. It's because I'm on the wrong screen. Son of a bitch. Jared says training season coming up for the West Coast. I think training season's coming up for everybody, to be honest, brother. I mean, I would think so. Jason, I've noticed that so many guys are looking for an answer and not the way to get the answer. They want to take the easiest way out. Exactly. And another thing that I keep telling my guys is they'll call me with a problem. Yeah, fuck Blue On. I don't know what happened to him. I can't say that because I still have a lot of friends there that work there. And I still love Mr. Peter. But yeah, the way that ended just wasn't cool, to be honest. But whatever. I don't wish anybody real will. I wish Blue On the best. But yeah, don't like how that whole separation went down. But yeah, and I keep telling them is to worry more about the solution than the problem. Like guys will call me when they have a problem and I hear, hey, Gil, I can't do this because of, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, did you think about this? Oh, damn, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, of course you didn't. Because you were so focused on trying to find reasons why you couldn't do it and not why you could do it. Sometimes it's a mindset. It really is. See, so like calling tech support helps you do the job now. No one can remember how many flashes the DC voltage is. Nah, I'm pretty sure Blue On is around. Yeah, no. So they're making a deal with all of them. So they already had a deal with what was it? Not Service Titan, House Call Pro. Mr. Billy's one. So anyway, they make deals with the CRM companies to incorporate all of their data to be able to get parts and stuff like that. So that's the deal that they make. Um, and also it's like tech support for the technician and all that kind of stuff. So, um, I don't think Blue One's going anywhere. They may have to make some strategic shifts at moments, but there is some very smart people that work there. Mr. Peter is a very, very smart dude. I have nothing but respect for Mr. Peter, the CEO. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, and you guys know, like my oldest son Tyler works for me right now, and I've been trying to push him, and he's come a long way in the short time that he's worked here. And and I love the conversations I have with him where he's like, "Dad, like I did this today, and like it finally clicked. Like I really understood it and stuff like that," which I absolutely love to hear it. Um, but all of my guys always say when I show up to a job, like, "Gil, yes, thank you, Zeke, Sarah, yes, that's what I was gonna say." So Blue On has already signed the deal with Sarah, and if anybody uses the CRM Sarah, Blue On is incorporated into the CRM. So I think that is what's going to happen. Not I think that's what's going to be happening with House Call Pro. So that's the deal you probably heard of, Modern. But shit, I forgot what was going now. No, but Jesus, made a handful of peanuts and they're fucking picking peanuts out of my teeth. Yeah, exactly. Squirrel. Um. Yeah. Talking about my son. Um. Shit. I really don't remember what I was. The point that I was getting ready to make. Um. Oh yeah. My son working for me, and some of the younger guys, they'll be like, "Gil, you're anal about things," and I'm like, "Guys, it has nothing to do with me being anal about stuff. It's about doing things the right way." Like one thing that I love is some of my installers that work for me, like they on Instagram, they'll follow like Mike Flynn and Jeff Jdem, guys that are very good friends of mine that I highly respect them and the work that they do. And I'm like, they're like, "Yeah, I want to do installs like that." And I'm like, "What do you mean you want to do installs like that? Do installs like that." You know what I mean? I'm like, you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And yeah, the first time that you do that, it's gonna make it. Yeah, I'm not saying they got to do the LED lights, but just like just taking your time to make things a little neat. Like me, like when you run a line set, I'm big on right angles. I don't want loops and swoops. I think it looks like shit, especially in the residential world. Customers are visual. They don't know about all the technical stuff 90% of the time, but they worry about how it looks. I don't like the fucking flex gas hoses unless it's absolutely necessary. I know some of you guys in your area, you have to have it. But I want to hard pipe it. Little things like that. I just do it right. Take the extra time. Take the extra mile. Especially when you do an install, man. I want you to be able to get done that install, and I want guys that work for me to want to post it and put it on Instagram. Because that means they're proud of their work. I want them to do that. I promote them. I suggest that they do that. Yeah, no, and I get it. Some of you guys have that. We don't have that here in Maryland. And I get it where people do it and they have the little one that loops like just enough to give it a shift. But the people that have a gas pipe running down and then they'll use like the 4-foot hose wrapped around something, it just looks like dog shit. I'm not doing that. Jay, you called out who on things and got banned? Oh, did you really? Yeah, no, your dad's not wrong. Well, and think about that. A prime example. So for the audio listeners, Freon Leon made a good comment. He said, Dad always told me if the install looks good, if it breaks, the homeowner will blame the equipment and not the installer. I agree with that 100%. Let's just use Goodman Equipment, for example. All those years when everybody was like, oh, Goodman's hunk of shit. It's a piece of shit. Fuck Goodman. That's trash. That's garbage. Let's be honest. It wasn't always the equipment. The problem is who they were selling it to. Goodman was selling it to anyone. So people that didn't know what they were doing were installing the equipment, and homeowners were saying, they weren't saying anything about the people they hired. Oh man, this equipment's a piece of shit. And really, it wasn't the equipment's fault. Any of that bubble wrap can cause any extra moisture buildup in the attics or basements. I doubt it. One thing I do really like that Jeff and them do with the line set is using the little piece of Kindorf. Amen, Zeke. So Mr. Zeke Warner says installation quality is 90% of the lifespan. Amen to that. The most important day of that system's life is the day that it's installed. If that is installed properly and it is, commissioned properly, the system will work properly. There's so many like people that get me like, oh, it's a brand new system. I don't gotta check gas pressure. Why? You think they're checking gas pressure in the factory? You think they're hooking gas up to it and they're adjusting the gas valve? No. I mean, do a factory tour. They're hooking electricity up that they're bumping the motors and they're sending that bitch down the assembly line. I mean, yeah, the valves come pre-calibrated, but it doesn't mean that they're always on the money. And to be honest, you may install 10 gas furnaces, and who knows, maybe 8 of them are fine. But what about the 2 that aren't? And if you're not checking, you're guessing. I don't like to guess at that kind of stuff. I'd rather just do it, especially something that doesn't take that long to do. Exactly. Especially in the areas, like in our area, like most people say a normal gas furnace, single stage should be 3.5 inches of water column. Around here, they say because of like the weight and the density of our gas, it really should be 3.2. So I say 3.2 to 3.5. Which also gets me that they say our gas is clean enough. It doesn't have any impurities, but then it's still code to put in a sediment trap. So it's like, that doesn't really make sense, but whatever. It's code. You got to do it. You can't fight the government. But, people that don't do like for the longest time, you can't put a union inside of a gas furnace. That has been code forever. I would hope that most people know that, but people still do it. Don't put a gas union inside the fucking furnace cabinet. You can't do that. And I feel like some people, and people that have been doing this for a long period of time, and they're like, oh man, I didn't know that. I'm like, well, you're fucking ignorant then, because you should know that. So saying I don't know, I don't take that as a fucking excuse. Yeah. Clock the meter. Oh, yeah. So Jason John says you need to clock the meter always. The sad part is, man, I bet you that 75% of technicians out there don't even know how to clock a fucking meter. I hope I'm wrong, But that's just how I would think that most of them don't know how to properly clock a meter. I saw a guy doing it and every gas appliance in the house was on. And I was like, so what exactly are you clocking, man? Like, you have to turn off the other gas appliances in order to clock an appliance. You can't have every fucking thing in the house on. Just got done with the job that was having issues for over 6 months. Found a control wiring mistake from the contractor and got the system working properly in 20 minutes. That's awesome. Dude, I love, man. I love that. And maybe it is an ego thing, but, you know, I love that when people call and they're like, man, we have this problem. We've had several companies out here and nobody can fix it. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'll come out there. And I love it when I fix it. I fucking love it. I don't like to lose. I don't care if it's at Checkers, whatever it is. And hey, maybe it might take me a few minutes longer, a little bit longer than somebody else, but I'll figure out what's fucking going on with it because I do not like to lose. I'll stay there all fucking day if I have to. Oh yeah. You can't clock the meter on propane, so yeah, that won't work. I clocked mine on my orifices are spot on perfect. I'm getting the name. There you go. Mr. Modern says, how about coming up to an oil-fired appliance and you find there's no test port in the flue? And at least with gas, most check the gas pressure. Yeah. See, that's where, you know, doing combustion analysis on oil, I feel, is a necessity. Whereas on a gas furnace, it's just kind of like a luxury thing. Because in a gas furnace, you can't adjust oxygen. You're only adjusting gas pressure. You can find out the efficiency of how it's burning. So if somebody has a 95% efficient furnace, like you can see if it's actually burning that efficiently. That kind of stuff's good. Obviously, you can see if you know, oxygen's going up when it comes on, if you might have a crack in the heat exchanger. But, you know, to me, you can use that tool to see if you have to look for something else, but I'm not using that to, you know, confirm a cracked heat exchanger. But I do agree that you have to do an oil 100%. The old smoke test. This job, they were blaming the equipment and demanded a new system. I show up as the factory guy and get it working. So did you have to like meet the contractor out there as like support for them, Jared? Or were you out there like by yourself, just like meeting the homeowner? See, Mr. Miles, my mentor always used an analyzer. So I've been testing all systems for 20 years. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, testing them isn't going to hurt anything. I just feel like it's a little bit more crucial, you know, with oil than it would be on the other systems. That's all. But you're definitely, you know, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just adding value to do it. It's only going to help. But I tell my guys if they all have company provided combustion analyzers. We actually just had them all sent off and calibrated. But if somebody calls me and says, hey, Gil, I'm doing the combustion analysis, and when the blower starts, you know, my oxygen level goes up, I think the heat exchanger is cracked. I am not going to let him condemn that heat exchanger solely based on what that combustion analyzer says. Oh, modern. I always wore those. I actually just found my old one. It doesn't work, and I don't know if they make it anymore. The Bacharach one, it looks like a home plate. I used to always wear that. I couldn't tell you, especially when I used to do Baltimore City work, how many times I would walk into houses and that thing would go boop, boop. I'm like, hey, man, you guys should get the fuck out. Yes, I definitely believe, especially if you work in a lot like in an area that there is a lot of like fossil fuel heating. You know, if there's a lot of oil, propane, you know, natural gas, I do believe in wearing the personal safety CO detectors. Which one do you wear, Modern? Like, what's a good one that you wear? Because I don't know. I'm actually curious. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can still get the one that I used to wear. Sammy, what's up, buddy? Oh, it's all good, man. We actually didn't start till 8:30, but yeah, we're gonna get ready to end here in a little bit. It's so wet. Jesus, talk dirty to me, Jason. Yes, propane's very moist. It's moist. Like my underpants. Sensacron, I believe. Okay. Let me see if I can try to share the screen. I might be able to find the one that I had. Liking it moist, huh, boy? Yeah. Like that shit moist. I like my women like propane, moist. I'm gonna start saying that. I like my women like propane, moist. Let's see. Back. Personal. COD Tech 4. No, I don't want the manual. I want the actual. Let's see. Mostly like a newly moist like a newly divorced grandma. That's funny. Hey, all them grandmas were at them No Kings parade this weekend. I saw all them old bitches out there. Let me see here. That's not it. Whenever I do this, the only thing that's coming up is a fucking sensor for like the actual detector. But anyway, I do believe in those, Modern. So I agree with you. I'm glad you brought that up. Anybody going into the heating season, the personal safety CO detectors that you clip on your pants. I hope the fuck this isn't what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, it should be funny as fuck, man. Trump should dress up as a king costume for Halloween and just meme the fuck out of people. I will laugh so hard. And the thing is, man, like even people in here, man, I don't give a shit what people's political views are. But what I don't like is like wishing harm on somebody else. You know, I have more conservative views at the moment. Like technically my views used to be Democrat views. Now they're Republican views. My views have never changed. The parties have changed. But this whole like wanting to see somebody else, like you should get your guns out and start shooting the fucking ICE agents and shit like that. It's just like, man, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't wish like even those people at the No Kings rally, I think what they're doing is kind of idiotic and stupid. I don't agree with them, but I don't want to see them hurt. You know, if somebody that believes in what I believe in went down there and started shooting those people and hurting them, I wouldn't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But anyway, don't want to get into that. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to search for it, can't even find them. Yeah, no, I won't, Zeke. I got to message her again, man. I really haven't. We were talking there for a while and then we just stopped. And I feel bad, man. I just don't have time right now. I just have so many things going on. I just don't have any time to add anything else into the mix. You know, especially it's working, it's coming home, it's, you know, making sure my mom's taken care of, you know, that medicine, she's feeling okay, oxygen, sugar, all that kind of stuff. And then it's the girls making sure that they do homework, they're fed, they take baths, like that kind of stuff. And then by the time I do sit down, it's like I just want to be left the fuck alone. So I feel bad. So I do need to message her, Zeke, but because I kind of just stopped messaging back. Heating season, not here. Or yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I know back in the R22 days, you used to see a lot of people that like they would call their plumber friend and they'd be in their like soft solder in the refrigerant pipes. Or even when 410 first came out. And their plumber friends who don't know shit about HVAC would be, and maybe they were trying to do their friends a favor or whatever, but they're in there like they're doing water pipes, fucking soft soldering it. And I actually went to one like that, and every fucking joint on that thing blew apart. And I was like, well, you tried to save a buck and you didn't really save that much there, did you? Man, it's funny. You still what? Soft solders? Yeah, but he's probably not using like, 95.5 or nothing. He's probably using like the stay still, which technically you can soft solder the stuff now with that. I used to have those personal CO detectors on my pants and be riding down the road and rip a fart. And that thing would just creep up your pants the right way. And all of a sudden that CO detector would go boop, 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 boop. That would be kind of funny. Yeah, so technically you can Freon. If you use that one stuff, the Stay Silver, whichever one is out there, I forget exactly what it is, and you get the right flux, you technically can still soft solder that stuff. I've done it. It's not something that I do. If I'm not brazing it now, then I just use my RLS. Who looks like he had a few drunk fights with a female? Stay bright, yes. Fukune. See, look at that. Perfect. Fukune. Yes, Stay Bright 8. That's what it's called. Thank you. Appreciate that. Plumbing, come in clutch. You have to message me, Jay, because I'm not sure what you're talking about, bro. Where the fuck is my cell phone? Ah, there it is. Oh yeah, I've seen the orange rods. Checking out. Second. Ah, sorry. Yeah, I have one of the It's in here somewhere. The solder weld kits. It's got a bunch of the different solders. Because actually doing the aluminum stuff is actually really cool. But, damn, good thing I grabbed my phone. I'm debating on getting the new 17 Pro. I don't know if I really care that much anymore, even though I am an Apple whore. I don't know. I have a 15 Pro that's working like a champ. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I use them, modern. I wouldn't say I got used to them, but I use those. But I am sorry, friends. This thing's about to get ready to come to an end, man. I'm gonna go get some food, take a shower, and take my ass to bed because 4:30, 5 o'clock comes fast, and it's almost 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. But thank you all for being here, man. I really do appreciate you guys, man. I love every Wednesday sitting here talking with you guys. I'm trying to find some new ways to, and maybe it's just the way I feel from doing the podcast, but I'm just trying to find some ways to like liven this show up to kind of change up the pace. I'm not sure what I want to do. I've kind of been against adding a co-host for a long time, but I don't know. I'd be willing to do it if I could work out the right thing with somebody to have somebody else on here to go back and forth with. But I feel like I've been doing this so long, I just need to make some changes, just kind of spice this thing up. And I've had several ideas, but then I love it. And then all of a sudden I think about it more and I'm like, I don't know if I like that anymore. But I do think I need to make some changes to kind of spice this up. And I don't know, maybe you guys are fine and maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I'm not sure. So, but obviously I respect all you guys in here. If you have any ideas, please let me know. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, with that being said, man, I thank you guys so much. I appreciate the conversation being in here. Thank you guys for a little bit late start tonight. You guys hanging out and actually coming in here. So I do appreciate that. Yeah, producer type might work. Really, man, like I gotta message Rookie because I don't know where he's been. I gotta make sure he's just working and everything's okay with him. But you know, Rookie used to like he does a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't realize. And the guy will never take anything from me. So and he doesn't really want to be on camera a lot of times, but you know, so that's not a bad idea, Jay. Have a rotation of people or keep it solo. No, it's actually KC. What's up, man? Nah, I would definitely not go back with that. It's funny, man. I actually got a text from him not long ago. I don't know if it was him because I don't have his number, but it literally said, "Hey, Gil, it's John Israel. What's up?" And I just never responded to it. So I don't know if it was actually him. I have had the same phone number for fucking 15 years. So I just didn't respond to it. I don't know if it was him or not. I don't know. It's probably best to leave well enough alone. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I like Ryan. And Ryan does a really good job with the editing and stuff like that. Because the only thing about these that I've been doing it for 10 years, man, is just like this part of it's fun. Like I don't mind the talking and fucking, doing that kind of stuff. It's like the posting, the editing, and all that kind of shit, the behind the scenes. Like that's where the real work is. Like actually doing this the day of is fun. This is the easy part. It's the stuff that nobody sees. So I'm not a fan of being in public. You should be though, Jay, man. You make the videos and all the different training things that you make, dude. That's you should have no problem being in public, bro. You're a smart dude. You got a lot of fucking knowledge to give, man. But all right, I love you guys, man. I appreciate you. Let me definitely start closing this out, man. All right. Guys, please be safe out there, man. Keep your head on a swivel. I always say this. Actually, let me back up a little bit. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the podcast on all the social media sites so you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with the show, which is not much. But stay up to date anyway. Download the podcast. Even if you watch the video, make sure you download the audio podcast because that really helps the podcast grow. Make sure if you haven't to give a 5-star review wherever you listen to this podcast. That also helps push this show forward. All right. Yep. That's about it. That's a little spiel before we got to go. But yeah, back to that. Keep your head on a swivel, guys. I want each and every one of you to make it home the same way that you left. Please be safe, man. When it's driving, make sure you're paying attention. Put your phone down. Make sure that breaker's turned off. Whatever it is, just please be careful out there. All right? Do the little things. Set yourself apart from the next guy or girl. We talked about today when it's involved in training. Push yourself. All right? You got to get out of your comfort zone. All right? If you're comfortable, then you're not growing. All right? You have to be uncomfortable to grow. Push yourself. Keep being the best version of yourself. And then with that being said, just give back, man. Just be a good person. You put out positivity, you're going to get positivity back. All right? Help the people around you be better. Give back to the industry. That's how all of us can make this better and not just be sitting on podcasts bitching about it. All right? With that being said, man, I hope each and every one of you have an amazing week. And yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate all of you. And stay safe. I'll talk with you mofos next week. All right? Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Have a good night, everybody. See ya.